You for voting. Thank you. Notice what the Democrats did. It was real smart of you not to get AOC to come down. You knew what was going to happen. You knew. You knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen. That was smart. It was smart because had they had AOC come down and endorse Michelle Vallejo, that would have ignited people to vote and weaponize their vote against Michelle Vallejo. AOC is not very accepted here in Texas for a variety of reasons. Even Beto knows that. Even Beto knows. During the freeze, Beto was going all around Texas, and AOC did show up. But I think he realizes, go ahead and just stay away. We're still friends. Just stay away. They know enough. But they brought Bernie down. And which is why I'm going to tell my story. So y'all think that the people that brought Bernie down, that did all the work to bring Bernie down, that they're just sweet people, sweet young folks that just want change, right? Right? Okay. Let me go ahead and tell you about them. I started getting into politics at about the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016. And by that time, for 2 years, I had been battling corruption in my small town. Basically, I was just a regular person, just a mom, a nurse, going to school, trying to complete my undergraduate degree so that I could go on to law school. My son started getting bullied. The bullies of the parents were lying. They didn't like that. Their victim's mom was louder than they were, and that's because they were used to being the loud ones. Obviously, how else is your kid going to know how to bully? Right? I was always quiet. Nobody really had heard about me. Nobody really knew about me. But my friends, they knew. They knew exactly how I could get when I needed to get passionate about something. And so that's exactly what we did. I saw how it was changing my son's outlook on life. I saw how it was ruining his school experience. And then at the same time, I was trying to get him special education, all of that, right? At about the end of 2015, I got a call. I noticed that I started to fall in love.
Okay, so in case you didn't notice, or you went to crash, you're ready for the night. Powerball had a glitch, and they couldn't do the drawing at the time as supposed to. So I'm trying to see if they actually did the numbers yet. Give me a second. Let me.
Okay. I live in Texas. Let me just get the questions out of the way. Because we have a lot of gentlemen.
They're talking about 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock central, and that's passed already, and they haven't drawn yet. So they're still having a glitch. Numbers are not drawn yet. Imagine that. The plot thickens.
She's looking pretty for the majority of women that go out to vote. That's who she's looking pretty for. American women. The majority of American women that go out to vote. Okay, gentlemen? I'm from Texas. Texan women are probably the least ones that you would want from the United States. Just so that you know. Okay? We're really. The men that love us are a different breed. They really are. They're a different kind of human. Okay? Because they love strong women. All right? And if you come from a nation that doesn't like strong women, you're not really going to like Texas women.
From a nation?
Okay. Let's not be doing that. Let's not be doing spam. I've seen you say hi like 10 times. You're gonna do it again? Okay. Yeah. One more time. Do it one more time. Yeah. And let me block you. Some of these men are so aggressive. I mean,
those are bots. Those are bots.
Please.
It's spam.
Anyhow, my son got national recognition because his school district was failing us. The school police were failing us. The local police were failing us. The municipal police were failing us. The county was failing us. And the district attorney was failing us. Nobody wanted to do the right thing, and everybody was friends. It was a compadrismo system. I had no idea that it even existed. I didn't know how bad it was. And that's because I was just trying to get justice for my son. So while I was dealing with that, it was really hard on our family dealing with that. When we cleared our name. And yeah, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. Let me turn off the comments. Hey. I mean,
it's spam. What are you going to do?
Do these men really think that I'm going to say, hey, Amir, how's it going? Hey, let me stop what I'm talking about and let me just address your hey. Do men not know how to watch silently?
You want to see where my Powerball tickets are at?
Let me just go ahead and do this. I didn't want to have to turn off the comments, but I'm going to have to.
All right, shit. You got to do what you got to do, you know?
One second. I'm trying to do that just as fast as I can. Thank you so much. I'm not going to be able to see your comments right now, you guys, because the men from across the Atlantic are already making their appearance here.
The men from across the Atlantic.
They're not used to allowing women just to speak. I feel so bad.
It's my little
countries, gentlemen. Honestly, for real.
Cradle, phone holder,
you don't
right?
even give them the respect to be heard. If you can't even give me the respect to be heard, I can just imagine how they're treated in real life.
This is how I'm holding my tickets
I wouldn't
right now.
even last a day over there. Didn't even last a day over there. Let me see. How do I do this? I did it the other day.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. We are online live with the VT Chronicles.
Okay.
She's back, just like she said she would be.
I know that I'm live. Okay.
All dressed up. So let me see.
Oh.
These comments are hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Can you see that, what I'm highlighting?
No respect, no self-control. I'm being serious. And I've seen the statistics of what they do to young ladies and women over there. I'm being serious. I don't like it. Look, I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe the comments so that I won't be able to see anything. I'm not gonna be able to see your compliments. I'm not gonna be able to see if there's a question that you really, really want me to answer. Then just go into my inbox and send me the inbox, and I will have my inbox open right here.
I thought she didn't like compliments.
Okay? Let's go ahead and do that. Okay? And gentlemen, I don't get permission for anybody to stream this video from any other place. However, if you're watching me from a place that is not supposed to be streaming me and does not have any of my permission, you can yell at me all you want. You can tell me all the profanities all you want, and I will probably never, ever see what you're writing. Like, no joke. Ever. Just so that you know. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All righty.
Okay, so I have my messages open. Let me know if there is a question that you have. So right back to where I was just a mom, just a nurse, just a student. Got my first arrest after the people that did not like me standing up for my then 16-year-old son and 11-year-old son, and they wanted to weaponize the police against me.
Hi, thanks. If you want to join, just go to my homepage on YouTube. Manny, YouTube.com/Manny behind the mic, and you'll see the little join button there. Check that out. Let me know if you can find that.
Know that they had been using to try to silence people.
If I get there.
And it's like, well, I'm not everybody else. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing. And so it took me a little while. It took me actually 2 years, actually about a year, to create the first biggest change. And they didn't like it. And as soon as I started, growing, they didn't like it. They didn't like that people were actually listening and agreeing, right? To this day, I'm dealing with it. No joke. Go to my videos at the beginning of the week. Go to my videos from last week. I am still dealing with law enforcement in my small town thinking that they can just harass me. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. You do it, I talk about it. 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 It becomes part of my story. And then when I use all that to reach a pinnacle that you never thought that I was ever going to reach, all you have to do is blame your bad actions. And I'm going to thank you for it. I don't know what else to tell you. Mm-hmm. So it took me 2 years to clear my name.
Don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Arrested 10 times in 7 years. That's how bad it is for women in Texas, especially when you're as strong and as passionate and as determined and unrelenting as I am. And so,
a legend in her own mind.
The court judge himself let us know how corrupt that police department was. And we knew that. Obviously, we knew that. We knew that we were having to clear our names for no good reason. We knew that we were having to clear our names because of the compadre system and retaliation. But until we had it validated by a judge, it was just our opinion. And so,
I'm keeping an eye on Powerball, by the way.
I heard about Bernie Sanders.
What did you hear?
And how he was just thinking about running for president. And I loved what he was about. And so in Willacy County, I live in the southernmost tip of Texas, which is made up of the southernmost county in Texas, which is Cameron County. There is also, so Philly Sky, you don't think that I'm going to be able to deal with you on this video?
Oh, this is so annoying.
My son said what he said during a moment in his life where he was very vulnerable. To such a degree that he wound up shortly thereafter going somewhere and getting the help that he needed. And not that it matters to the rest of the world, and the world doesn't.
Let's see if this clears up. Not out yet.
To say everything that you're saying, that he's saying, that he said on this post. Don't interact with it. I'm dealing with this person. I'm dealing with this person. I make you angry, don't I? What don't you like about men? What? What don't you like about men?
Is she showing
You're
the
a
comments
strong
already?
woman and you could be the only strong woman? Is that what it is? And you're absolutely right. Remember, the God you speak of is my God, not just your God. He gave his only son for the evils like the kind that are in your heart,
Oh,
not mine. I learned what Jesus would do in certain situations. Obviously, you haven't, because this is unchristlike. And I find it pretty blasphemous that you would even think that you could even come over here,
blasphemous.
use God to be a mean girl.
Like you do?
With somebody like me.
Just like you do. How many times have you done
Anyway,
that?
perfect example. She came in at the right time. That's what I've had to deal with. Thousands of people like her. No joke.
Thousands?
No joke.
Thousands.
Let me poke holes in her story. And she always survives it, right? Everything you and your kind do to me, I survive. Is that what bothers you the most? That's it. I'm curious. So, this is what happened. It was in the newspaper. It went viral. All right? It absolutely did occur. And people like this are going to look so foolish. When my son is ready, and he lets you know you all are really foolish. You're really taking the claims of somebody that was in a very vulnerable state, who was literally on the cusp of just not even on the cusp of being an adult. He was still a teenager. Mad at his mom for things that he would later apologize for. The hate was giving him money. And one of the outcomes they wanted was for people like you, bad-intentioned individuals like you, that use God in their bad intentions to do what you're trying to do here to me.
Just like she does.
That was one of the outcomes these people wanted whenever they paid my son to do that. Why don't you mention that whenever you say this?
Not only does she claim to be so religious, she claims to be Christ-like. Some of you have heard that.
Honey, I'm a twice U.S. congressional candidate. Believe me when I tell you that I can deal with you.
Candidate.
All right.
That means third prize.
Bernie Sanders was a thing. And I believed in him. He gave me hope when I thought that there was no hope, right? In the area that I live, it's made up of Cameron County, Hidalgo County, Starr County. And I just want to make a note how you notice how they're not saying anything anymore. So, and I haven't blocked him.
Oh, yeah, because you handle them.
Was very much loved down here, but only by a few people. And the unfortunate thing in the Rio Grande Valley is that nobody can unite. Nobody really can. You will have your Cameron County activists and you'll have your Hidalgo County activists. And they are literally so greedy. No joke. They're just as bad as politicians. Politicians is like a next level high school. And activists are in between that. They're in between high school and the politicians themselves.
Welcome back, everybody.
The pet and dog people only care about themselves. The pollution people only care about their issues.
Just so you know, we're here watching the VT Chronicles. She is live right now. She said she was going to come back and go live and get political. In particular, about a couple of people.
Only care about the corruption.
And at the same time, we're watching the Powerball drawing, which has not happened yet. They're having some kind of a technical computer glitch. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Everybody just wants.
I think they were swamped and overloaded by the number of
here in Willacy County,
last second votes. Last second ticket purchase, ticket sales, which I think cuts off at 8:30. I think Central Time.
There was a one point in time where
they kept delaying the thing for an hour. Now it says 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock Central.
Because Joaquin Castro,
and that's an hour late already, so I'll keep an eye on that. I got another tab open here.
Some disparaging remarks against Bernie Sanders, and we don't have anybody from the Rio Grande Valley that has time right now to go up there. And I said, okay, I rented a car and everything. I went straight up there. When I tell you that I mean business and I'm going to get something done, when I tell you that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I've proven that. Thank you, Tina.
You've proven it, really?
Tina states, I find it gross when people use God to threaten others and try to shame them.
That's what she does. What the hell?
That's why she hasn't said a damn word anymore.
That's what she does.
She's probably thinking of something to say. Well, keep on thinking. Thank you. Y'all can watch the replay. Y'all always know that you can watch the replay, okay? I barely started with how they betrayed me with the Bernie story.
How did they betray you exactly?
I'm curious about something.
Because Bernie knows nothing about her. In case you guys didn't know. Actually, most people don't know about her.
Don't interact with that hateful person, okay? Y'all already know that. Don't do that. Let me take care of them. So when I started going to the Bernie meetings and this and that, they asked me to do this and I said, okay. And then they said, can you take this person with you? And I spoke to the person that I was with back then. I said, they want me to take this person with me. I don't know them, but they know them. What I really don't like is that these activists, right? They're supposed to be Bernie people. You're supposed to look out for each other, right? I'm a female. They had already made arrangements where we're going to stay. There was other Bernie people in San Antonio, and we were going to spend the night there. I gave a speech at the federal building. And that was the very first time that people understood the power that I have. Why does she think she has power?
Thank you.
Because I'm strong. Because I'm well-spoken. Because I'm smart. Because I'm tenacious. Because I'm driven. Because I'm resilient. Because I never give up. And I do not care what people think about me. I don't care what the Philly skies of the world think about me. I don't care what the people with the most money think about me. I don't care what the rich families of the Rio Grande Valley think about me. I don't care what the tough, strong people think about me. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And nobody's going to intimidate me. Let me check something real quick.
You go, girl.
And so that's the first time that they saw this.
That was her, not me.
I was waiting to get this profile. Thank goodness. I finally got you. You're not my daddy.
Oh, you're not my daddy. Did you get caught?
Finally got you. It's so funny that people, they dislike me so much, they will go out of their way to make pages like that. But it's like they never show their faces. They never show their faces. Why? If you think I'm something to laugh at, then show me your face. And they do not show their faces. I mean, seriously, come on now. If I'm something to laugh at,
she likes watching herself.
Because this is what I've learned. I can't let any of that hurt me because look at who's laughing at me. Are they smarter than me? Are they stronger than me? Are they better in this world when it comes to the things that really truly matter? Are they better and stronger at those things than I am? Hell no.
Hell no.
Not even close. Not even close. And I've had that mentality since I was in single digits. Why are you still here, Philly Sky? I'm just wondering. Look at you. You're big girl, or you just trying?
Here she goes, showing her profiles, criticizing her, or criticizing people that comment.
Dude, the other day you were a guy. Seriously, you were a guy. You don't think I remember your cover pic? And then you don't bother to take off the other profile pictures? You know who you are, and you're not supposed to be contacting me, man.
Eilish, what up? Haven't seen you in a while.
I need to show you this.
There she goes. Vanessa doing what she does best.
This person wants you to believe that they're this person, right? Right? They want you to believe that they're that girl, right? She looks harmless. She looks sweet. But then the
Ugh. It only happens on her live. I wonder why.
I remember the cover pic. So it's like a guy that wants you to feel like he's like a respectful guy, which he isn't.
Is that her screen all dirty?
These are his two profile pics, other than that one. Those of you that follow my story probably have a really good guess about which one of my hateful followers is this person. We all know who pretends to work at the oil rigs, right? Right? We all know who does, right? And let's see right here. And look at his friends.
That's a fake profile.
But it's her. Right? It's her. No. Look at his friends. Look at his friends. Look at all his friends. Come on now, man. You're a dude that don't like me. And none of those girls would ever give you the time of day. Seriously. None of them. This person's from the valley. That's his friend. Who's this? This guy's from far.
There's Felix.
How's that? I mean, since you want to come over here and do this kind of thing, right? And I noticed it almost feels like they just only created this profile just to troll me. They think they're so smart. Like, I'm not gonna.
Well, it's working.
Come on now. Anyway, let me go ahead and block this person.
She cannot. This is what's annoying. She says she wants to talk about something so important to her.
God's watching you make a fake profile también.
But if she gets triggered by these fake profiles or people just commenting and
God's watching you.
making their comments, and she has to read every single
And what
one,
about it?
and she feels triggered. She gets triggered easily, and then she's just
Ban
way off focus.
Yes, but I also want to ban Philly and new profiles they may create. Confirmed. Done. So I go up to San Antonio. I give my speech. It's on YouTube. The guy that I traveled up there with, no joke, he got jealous. But I'm a woman. I think because he was kind of smart, right? I'm a woman, though. I don't like that. I'm a woman, which means, like, why are you competing with me? Right? Like, he was legit upset that he wasn't the one that made that speech. And he knows that I wrote that speech overnight. I literally wrote it overnight. I had to drive from San Antonio, and I even had to be texting the person that I was with. I was like, I think I'm going to just drop this dude off. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to drop him off. I'm going to drop him off like in Falfurias. I can't take it anymore. I can't deal with this guy. There's something wrong with him. Sure enough, whenever we finally get to the valley, I drop him off. I check his Facebook, and I noticed that we had a mutual friend that's a nurse that I used to work with, right? So I call her, and I'm like, do you know this person? She gasped as soon as I said his name. And she said, why, Vanessa? And I told her, I said, I'm part of the people that like Bernie here in the valley. And they asked me to go. I told her everything. And she was like, you were in a car that long with him?
She's full of crap.
She was like,
another one of her tall tales.
He has serious issues. Like, he has literally been an in-house person for those issues. That's the first clue that let me know that the Bernie people in Hidalgo County,
Philly Sky,
they don't
Good
care
job.
about putting a woman
Good
in
job.
an unsafe situation.
Good job.
They don't. They just wanted themselves to be represented in the RGB. That's it. They wanted to be able to say, we sent one of our own. So, like about 6-9 months later, there was an opportunity. Bernie was coming to, we got another one. They made a bunch of them. We got another one.
She can't focus.
Right?
She can't focus and just let those go by and just keep talking. She loves doing this.
No, you blocked yourself right away, didn't you? Scared. Why are you scared? Unblock yourself. Why are you scared? You want me to know that you're laughing at me. But we're all laughing at you. You're so afraid of me that you won't show your face.
Oh, she's creepy as
probably, and you won't show your voice. You won't show your likeness. And you won't come out on the screen with me.
Fireball check.
Because you're probably deficient in every single way that you know you're deficient. You know it. That's why you can only laugh. That's your life. That's all you can do. So then a few months later, they tell me, get ready. And I said, okay, why? Well, first they asked me for permission to use my story to try to meet Bernie Sanders. And then they tell me, he heard your story, he wants to meet you. I was very excited, obviously, right? And you people from Hidalgo County, you know who you are. And I can show our messages. Yeah. You may not be as active in politics as I am right now. I don't know what you thought about me, but I think you underestimated that I was the real thing. Meanwhile, the rest of you are only dabbling in it. That's why I'm still here. I'm still standing. And my reach is greater. And I've never stopped talking about the issues that matter. I'm being merciful, not saying your names. And you know that I am.
Everybody's so afraid.
Right? So they give us the date that we're going to go up there. And I felt kind of bad because I had already met some people in San Antonio as well. Obviously, you go up there, you stay at someone's home, you're gonna be amongst more people who support Bernie Sanders, and the network gets bigger and bigger. So on the day that we're supposed to go to San Antonio, I get a call. And I'm told that I'm not going after all. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, well, there was a change of plans. Long story short, the only reason they got to meet Bernie was because of my story. That's it. They thought it was a smart idea. They thought, I don't know who they thought. I don't know if they thought she's just from Willacy County. Or, please, I'm stronger than the whole gang of you. The whole gang of you. I'm a better speaker. I'm a stronger person in every single way. But you underestimated me because I'm a female and I'm from a smaller, more rural county in the Rio Grande Valley than you guys thought that you were in Hidalgo County. Se creían bien chingones. And so you thought that it was going to be just okay to leave me out, even though it's my story that's taking your asses up there to be able to meet Bernie.
You guys read her comments. You see this stuff?
Friend that was like a quasi-activist
that I'm highlighting,
who we haven't heard a thing from in 7 years. Are you serious? They did that to me. They went up there. They got to take a picture. Bernie Sanders doesn't even know about this. No idea. The truth be told, and this is for another video, Bernie doesn't know that he's actually been supporting a woman that copied my entire political likeness.
Here we go with the AOC.
So part of those Bernie people also are now helping Michelle Vallejo. Danny Diaz, I'm going to say your name. He's trying to make a name for himself politically by being in the campaigns of Jessica Cisneros and Sarah Stapleton Barrera. All he's doing is using my thoughts, my ideas.
Ugh.
Vanessa's wearing a cowboy hat. Slap a cowboy hat on Jessica Cisneros. But she's never worn a cowboy hat. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Sarah Stapleton Barrera, same thing. Michelle Vallejo, copy Vanessa's platform from 2017. Abel Prado's another one. Now, tomorrow's election day, sons. Sirs.
Sons?
Boys. I don't think you want me to show my messages between me and Abel Prado now, do you?
She's trying to be all dramatic
Do
and.
you? Because remember, Michelle only won by 30 votes. I guarantee you that if the public were to see what you sent me right before my last election, they will turn on Michelle's campaign.
So why wouldn't you show it? Just show it.
Just to teach you a lesson.
Just show it.
Watch. You know that I'm telling you the truth because we're not going to hear a peep. Not a peep from them.
Abel.
Now, I had to get a little hard right now in what I said because I knew it was going to elicit some laughs. They always fall right into my trap. Terry Boo. Terry Boo. Oh, honey, the Karens need to stop. Don't come over here like that. Don't be doing that.
Who's laughing at what? I don't see no laughing emojis here.
Why are you coming over here? So don't do that.
I see those.
Let's go ahead and show it. You're gonna come over here and laugh at me? Okay. Why are you coming over here and causing this mess if you're supporting a candidate that's really needs our votes tomorrow? I'm just wondering. Because nobody was talking about Morgan. Nobody was talking about Morgan. So why did you have to come over here like that? I'm just wondering. But you're supposed to be a sweet Democrat. You're not supposed to be, oh, Archangel. Okay. But you're just a sweet girl, right? You're just sweet, right? Just so sweet, right? Right? And you want us to go vote, but you're being mean, right?
This is how she spends all her lives. This is how she spends her life.
Right? Okay. That's what I thought. Let me see. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm telling you, these political people, I swear, they make you feel like if they're some kind of sweetheart. They're not. They're just using you to try to the way that they want you to vote. That's all they're doing. Don't worry, I'm getting them. It's taking me a little bit, but I'm getting them. Because remember, Michelle only won by. Don't worry, I'm getting them. It makes them feel so good when they come over here to laugh. Ashley Renee. Oh, here we go. All right. So beautiful. So beautiful. Tough. Got tough thigh tattoos. Okay. People be stalking my page, but you're here stalking me right now. Okay. And that's literally all you have. Okay. Oh, no, you got more. Okay. That's not a filter, right? Barely can see your nose. Okay. So let's go ahead and just deal with this little person right here. And you see, they get so mad. I had no idea this lady's not even from this state. And here she is. Right? And I've been dealing with this for 7 years. And I know it's going to get worse. I know.
Hey, Ashley. Ashley is in the house, by the way.
Karma's a bee. Look at little Karma's a bee. When was it created? Probably barely right now. No joke. Probably barely right now was created. 0 likes, 0 followers. Just want to go and laugh at Vanessa. Okay, all that work for nothing.
Pretty much.
Gosh, all that work for nothing. I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this forever. But they won't do it with their faces. And if they do it with their faces, they do it from out of state. Knowing full well that I ain't never gonna run into them in HEB or anything like that.
All right, Powerball.
So they betrayed me,
updates.
and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna take our friend instead." I was like, "Okay, all right, that's fine." So I ran for my elected seat. I knew that I wasn't gonna win, and I kept on running, Mira esta, Ashley Renee. Yes, literally all I have. I don't put my laugh out there. Honey, if you're gonna come over here with the appropriate grammar. Honestly, for real, I think you got your nouns and pronouns just messed up right there. Got a little bit of a headache trying to understand that. Just a little bit, though. What do you want me to tell you? Makes you feel good? Makes you feel good? Let's see. Yeah, that one's gone. Don't start coming over here, Karen. You're gonna be upset. Y'all, let me know if you're laughing with me. Please let me know if you're laughing. Because I'm just gonna straight block anybody laughs.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I am. I'm gonna straight block just anybody laughs.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let me know if you're laughing with me or at me. I don't joke around. I'm being serious, for real. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for little Ashley Renee's of the world be laughing and stuff. I have serious shit that I'm trying to do in my life.
Yeah.
Serious shit. Shit that involves you being the best that you can possibly be.
Yeah.
Other forces trying to bring you down.
So serious that you get
Sad,
distracted by
men
somebody
all
putting a
around you,
laughing
sad,
emoji on your
women all around you,
comment
trying
or
to
whatever.
pick pieces of you to create.
Yeah, you're
themselves in
serious.
your image.
Yeah, important message. Yeah. I get it.
Or to create, if you're a man, to create women in your image, knowing the bullshit that you're going through, which is Danny Diaz and Abel Prado. And then there was some guy from New York. I'm not even gonna mention him because seriously, he's like no traffic in his page. So all of that happened. And how am I not going to mention it? How am I not going to mention it? Seriously. The men are jealous of me. That guy that I took to San Antonio because he wanted to go was jealous of me. They lied about knowing him, and then I find out that they didn't even know him. He just showed up to the Bernie meetings, like 1 or 2 meetings. How are you going to have me in a car with him? My God. And these are trusted members from the communities of Hidalgo County. Cállate. No joke. And then now they're there helping Michelle Vallejo como si nada. Como que si eran santitos. No, they're not.
And you?
They're just as vicious as the establishment that they're fighting against.
And you? You're a freaking angel, right?
They ain't gonna tell me nothing.
Premium?
They ain't gonna tell me nothing. Oh, they're not. I am gonna have to write a book. And then they're gonna get so mad. All the little men from the RGV that are trying to help these women win these political seats in Washington, D.C., whenever they think that they've cemented their legacies because our girl finally won and I got to be a congressional aide because I helped her with her campaign. Vanessa came out with her book and now everybody knows the truth about me. Ma'am, that's your downfall. That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's y'all's fault. I'll have nothing to do with that.
Can't wait for that book.
You wanted to write and insert yourself into my life? I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, a book.
Okay? All right? That's why you shouldn't be trying to make a name for yourself by trying to create Jessica Cisneros and slapping a cowboy hat on her, which she has never worn in her entire life, and then sitting her ass on top of a horse after you saw Vanessa Tijerina do that exact same thing with her mayor's election. Same thing with Sarah Stapleton.
Jessica Lee, thank you so much.
Using all kinds of talking points, shit that she had never, ever,
I appreciate
ever
you, Jessica Lee.
Ever. So let's go ahead and get into the District 15 campaign. So you have Monica De La Cruz and Michelle Vallejo.
See how long before she gets sidetracked.
One advantage that people are not really going to talk about, and this is not really serious, but actually it kind of is that people are going to go into the voting booth and they can no longer check off Democrat, right? Because you used to be able to check off Democrat, and you would elect all of the Democrats. You can't do that anymore. You have to check their names off. Well, Monica sounds more Mexican than Michelle. That's a disadvantage, and that's something that people think is going to be taken lightly, but it's not. Because I guarantee you this, believe me, I've lived my entire life being mistaken for Veronica instead of Vanessa. They know it's a V name. They have to get their memory jogged. They know it's a V name. And I have my friends that are Veronica that are also called Vanessa until the people actually start to be like, okay, it's Veronica, it's Veronica. And with me, it's like, no, I'm not Veronica. It's like, okay, it's Vanessa, it's Vanessa. Same thing with Michelle and Monica, except Monica sounds way more Mexican than Michelle. Monica has the advantage there, just so that y'all know. And Michelle, if people haven't told you that in your campaign, that's what you get for working with people like Danny Diaz. Simply because he worked on the campaigns of Jessica Cisneros, she lost. Sarah Stapleton Barrera, she lost. He's not as smart as he's trying to make everybody think he is. He's not. He has no idea about science. He doesn't know anything. All he's doing is copying women like me.
Copying.
That's it. Literally trying to Frankenstein all of his candidates. Including you, Michelle. Including you. They should have emphasized your last name. They should have played your last name bigger than your first name.
Oh, she's a political expert now.
And that would have made a bigger difference.
Political strategist.
Just so that you know. For future reference.
One who can't win anything herself.
Monica got her start. First of all, on both of these ladies, you ain't never heard Michelle or Monica before they decided to be famous and be in District 15. You never saw them. They never fought for anything at all regarding politics. Nothing. They didn't care about Social Security. They didn't care about Medicaid. They didn't care about access to health care. They didn't care about the immigration issues. They didn't care about green jobs. They didn't care about border security. They didn't care about none of the things that they're talking to you about now. They didn't care. Why does that matter to me? Because I'm the real thing. And so when you're the real thing and you see these fake ass candidates, then you know they're fake ass candidates. You know that they're warm bodies and they couldn't get anything better than that. And so now those are our choices. I'm in Pisces.
Oh, you gotta know.
Pisces.
You gotta know she's a Pisces.
Every zodiac sign in us. That's why the fish is going up and down. We are the most fluid of all the zodiac signs. So let's look at their backgrounds. And remember, U.S. District 15 goes all the way from Hidalgo County that is the southernmost part of Hidalgo County. That Hidalgo County is the southernmost part of District 15. And it goes all the way Brooks County, right? all the way up. Live Oak, Carnes, Wilson into Guadalupe County near San Antonio. The farther up you go, the more Republican it gets. After the last census, They redistricted. So depending on the population, they were allowed to change the district lines. And I thought it was really funny. Some people can think it was a coincidence. I don't. But y'all can call it a coincidence. I believe it was a compromise. And so after the redistricting,
you can't say the word.
US 34, which is just to the east of US District 15, and US District 34 includes Cameron County, Willacy County, a tiny little sliver of the east side of Hidalgo County, Kleberg County, and Kennedy County. Okay? The compromise was that they made District 34 just a little bit more Republican, just a little bit more Democrat. That's why Myra, that we'll go to that right now, was so mad because they made it a little bit harder for her to win. But it's my opinion that they did this knowing that Vicente Gonzalez was going to abandon U.S. District 15 because he was afraid that had the compromise was, we're going to make 15 a little bit more Republican and we're going to make 34 a little bit more Democrat. Not to worry, Vicente, because when you want to make the move, we're just going to make your house become a little tiny little surgical sliver inside of U.S. District 34, which is really strange and weird, seeing as District 34 is on the east side of Hidalgo County, but they did it anyway, and it's just supposed to be a coincidence. And so, Filemon Vela, well, we'll just get to that right now. So District 15 became a little bit more Republican. So 2 years ago, that's the thing about U.S. representative seats. It sucks a little bit because you have to campaign every 2 years, unlike U.S. senators that are every 6 years.
Sweet 16.
So you have to constantly fight every 2 years. Every 2 years. All right. Good night, y'all. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Okay? You can catch me on the replay. All right? Catch me on the replay. Let's just say see you later. Because whenever y'all say good night, I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I admit this. It brings down the energy just a little bit.
Oh, she don't want people to leave.
It does. It does.
She doesn't want people to leave. She don't like hearing goodbye.
See you later, and we'll catch you on the replay.
You're bored.
Okay, sleep well.
Yeah, I'm bored. I'll be honest. I'm bored.
So, I told y'all I'm no nonsense. Even with my followers, I have to be. This is all I have. These videos are going to be here for until the end of time. They're going to know she's serious. Monica de la Cruz.
Serious, but not serious to try to get your kids back and lead a normal life. That would be serious.
Got the seat in 2017.
Compared to that, this is not serious.
What I was told was that Ruben Hinojosa, who had the seat for nearly 30 years, was going to retire and no longer run. But when you are a United States representative, you get 18 cabinet seats that you can fill. They pay like tens of thousands of dollars, some hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. The story that was told to me was Ruben Hinojosa wanted to be able to retire, but to keep the people that he loved in those seats. The only way to ensure that is to give your war chest and your network to a candidate that doesn't have very much family and friends. Here comes Vicente Gonzalez. He's not a native of the Rio Grande Valley. He's from Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that. It's still delayed. Some kind
Shit,
of
I
a
would have done it.
security threat.
You're gonna get me elected.
Some kind of
We're gonna
security
use your war
threat.
chest.
People
We're
trying
gonna
to
use your network.
steal
We're gonna use all
up
of that.
to $2
And
billion.
all I have to do is keep your same cabinet members. Shit, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll run.
Yeah,
And he won.
still the same.
However, Monica de la Cruz.
And I'm sorry I can't scroll through this because it's live, right?
Monica de la Cruz used to work for the Travel Channel, Dora the Explorer. Her background is business communications, like that, broadcasting. If you've ever heard Monica de la Cruz speak, then you'll know her voice is not even for radio. No. She's never going to be that great speaker. That's why she's always super quiet at events.
She is?
She knows how to broadcast. She knows how to make some videos. But on her own, like, she could never do this right here.
People don't want her to do this.
Believe me, she tried. The first time she ran against Vicente, she copied my entire campaign. Because, oh, by the way, yeah, I ran against Vicente and as a Green Party member. I did, and I did really well too. I broke records, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Broke records.
So that's her background, and she's been running for this seat, and so she has a lot of support. However, the majority of her supporters,
she broke records, really,
are not from here. And Monica's a little bit of a mean girl. She came after Vicente a little bit ugly and unclassy. She really did. Because Vicente, I don't think at that time had gone after her like that. But she came after him, and she came after him hard the first time she ran against him. She got a little classier with the second election.
If she broke records, why didn't she win anything?
She started because she was a mean girl, and because she promoted all of the kind of hateful rhetoric that we didn't really see in South Texas. But it's South Texas. And as much as we love, we also hate. You know I know all about that, right? And so Monica's been able to fill a void.
This is making me nauseous.
That has been lacking. They needed a mean girl candidate. They got it in Monica. And she's a Republican. I really don't want a mean girl in Washington, D.C. But let's look at Michelle Vallejo. Michelle Vallejo did not care about the issues that mattered. She's just like Monica. That's where they're both the same. Neither lady cared about the issues that they're claiming to care about right now. If they did, they would have been talking about them for years before they decided to try to be famous and be a U.S. rep. And the story that is told to me is that Michelle Vallejo was not supposed to be the candidate that was running. It was supposed to be that corrupt Danny Diaz, the one that stole all my ideas, the one that made a Frankenstein candidate out of pieces of me for Jessica Cisneros and Sarah Stapleton Badera and now Michelle. That guy. You can see it too. He was like getting pumped up and losing weight and doing all this kind of stuff right before you were able to sign up and put your name on the ballot. I think I threw a monkey in the wrench because I decided to run, and I think he saw that people were going to see the big, huge difference between me and him. So they decided to put a girl in there, hence Michelle Vallejo. She has a great story. She was raised at the Pulga. Yeah, but do we need somebody that was raised at the Pulga? That knows a lot of people, that's beloved? Or we need somebody that's intellectual, that understands the people. The reason that I know that...
If I let myself go, I'll fall asleep.
There's no candidate in Texas. There's no politician in Texas that's been in more homes in Texas than I have. No one. No one ever will. And not just as a cable person. I've been in more homes in South Texas than anybody ever has because I've been in there for over 20 years.
Sorry about that.
I have seen rich homes. I've seen homes in colonias. I see multi-generational households, and I see all of their issues. From the issues that school children go through the issues of healthcare access, to immigration issues, all of the issues that matter. One thing that I wish I would have known in the primary that I only knew afterwards was Michelle Vallejo doesn't even have a college degree. But yet they want to tout her as having an Ivy League education. They want to say that she left school. They want us to give us the impression that she left school because her mother became ill. But we'll never know that. I mean, unless you show us your transcripts. You know, it'd be one thing if when you left, your grades were, impeccable. It'd be an entire other questionable thing if when you left, you were not making the grade. There's a difference. I didn't know that I was running against somebody that didn't have a college degree. I'm a biologist, which is why I care about the environment.
Yeah, you still lost. You still lost. You still lost. You still lost.
My background is in biology.
You still lost.
And by nature, what Monica went to school for, broadcasting, is what I do naturally.
You still lost.
It's different when you get trained for it than when you're born with it. She knows that too.
Good Lord.
Michelle works. Monica herself is a mean girl. Michelle works with mean men. If Michelle wins that seat, people like Andres Bernal, Danny Diaz, Abel Prado will have an easier way to rise to power, and those are not the kind of men that we want in power. If you go to Andres Bernal's page, he's in a whole other video. He has literally adopted every single thing that was on my platform.
He's the one that she says stole her image and gave it to AOC.
That's a whole other story.
They used it on AOC.
So out of those two candidates, I don't know what to say.
Making up these wild stories, I don't know what.
There's not an intellectual.
I don't know what she gets out of it.
I've heard them speak.
And Abel Bravo.
Nothing about their thinking.
Do you guys know what he did last year? Oh, I guess earlier this year when she was running for a congressional seat.
I think between both of those candidates.
I mean, she didn't have a chance in hell. But he called her and he pranked her. He punked her.
I think that whoever wins is not going to win by.
Called her and said, hey, listen, just want you to know
that one's going to be.
You're in second place.
I'm not going to talk about Henry Cuellar.
And she was so happy. She was crying.
Because we know Henry.
She was on a live when he called.
I heard the Republican the other day on TV. I don't even know what her name is.
And she was in second place. And oh my, she lost it. She was so happy.
You can tell she's not well spoken.
It was a damn lie.
You can tell that she's not as smart as she would like people think she is.
He punked her.
And that's a damn.
That's one reason why she's very mad at him.
It's like, what? You said what now? How did you say that?
Should have seen it. It was great.
You want to represent us in D.C.? Okay. So that's why I'm not going to talk about that a lot.
I felt bad for her for about 2 seconds, but that's about it.
Pearl. Now let's talk about US 34. Why is Michelle Vallejo even the one the Democrat that's running against Monica de la Cruz? Because Vicente Gonzalez told the news and the Associated Press.
I'll dig it up. I will.
You never say this.
Hey, Lavina.
Keep it to yourself.
Oh, it's just VT talking nonsense again.
His chances, basically, that he thought that he might lose to Monica. Because this time, Monica's already run against him in one election. Now it's going to be a second.
I'm fighting hard to stay awake.
So he could have stayed. The law says that you do not have to live in the district to run for that. That's why that girl The Republican running against Henry Cuellar is only using a mailbox. She don't live there. Just like I didn't live in 15 to run for 15. All right, let's get rid of that person.
She thinks people are impressed by her deleting people or blocking people or dealing with people. She would just stop everything and just start doing this. Tough guy.
I didn't get rid of her before, but I guess I got rid of her now. Okay. So Vicente Gonzalez could have stayed and fought. But instead, he left District 15 vulnerable, which is why we have Michelle Vallejo and Monica de la Cruz. Nobody even cares about the issues. Have y'all noticed? Every single time I run, people jump down my throat, forcing me to get my platform out there. Well, what's your platform? No one's asking Michelle for her platform. No one's asking Monica for her platform. No one's asking Vicente for his platform. No one's asking Mayra Flores for their platform.
They have.
Nobody. You know why?
Their platform is out there already.
Nobody's excited about these elections. No one.
You're not, because you're not running in it.
No one.
And that's
why
fact.
voter turnout has
That's
been
a fact. Check.
So, District 34 is my district. That's where I live. That's where there's also tons of corruption. Mm-hmm. Why do I care about U.S. District 34? Well, obviously, I've lived there my entire life. Here, my entire life. All the injustice that I've gone through, and I stated this in a video before, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again. There are state-level lawmakers that have looked into every single aspect of my story, literally the totality.
I can't roll my eyes anymore. That's as high as I can go.
The strategic times where it happened.
I swear they'll get stuck up there one of these days.
Involved. Things that people are trying to cover up. Serious things. All of that. They've sent that to a congressional referral. If you don't know what that means that your that's when your state level leaders send it to either a U.S. senator or your U.S. rep. In my case, it's going to be my U.S. rep for 34. What kind of confidence do y'all think I have that the only two options to take care of the injustice that has happened to me is Mayra Flores, who I have seen and heard talk. That's all you need to know about a person is how they speak without a script.
Have you listened to yourself, Vanessa?
That's going to be the person that's going to get my congressional referral. Or Vicente Gonzalez, who I have previously run against, who knows I'm stronger than him. I may not have his money. But he will always see me as
running against people.
Those are the two people.
Is nothing.
One of each.
It's nothing.
It's going to have to take care of that congressional.
It's not a home run.
And really look into it. And
it's not a double. It's not a triple. It's nothing. So the fact that you run so many times means nothing if you don't win.
I thought it was very interesting. It was in Spanish. I spoke about it with two different families.
No, you didn't.
You see, her husband's a border patrol agent. But in the Spanish version of the commercial, they don't call it what we've all known our whole lives, to refer to it as. They called it something else very nice, very fancy in Spanish. The truth is she's married to somebody in La Migra. Very different, right? That's very different. It's very different when you say, yo soy Mayra Flores. Mis padres vinieron de México. Yo trabajé en los labores. My name's Mayra Flores. My parents came from Mexico. I'm a first generation Hispanic. I worked in the fields. I labored in the fields. And then you use the fancy word to say, I'm married to my husband that works as a federal agent, you know.
Fancy word?
Said it in a real nice name in Spanish. Instead, saying it in Spanish. Because the majority of people that are watching your commercial in Spanish will find it very different when they understand that you're married to the migra. You are legit married to a person.
That's his job. So what?
Whose job it is to keep people from coming into the border.
Yeah, that's his job.
Why does that bother me? Because of this. Mayra Flores has stated over and over and over again. I'm going to wait. I don't know why I'm pulling this out. Mayra Flores has stated previous times, many times, my parents came over here legally. That's a privilege.
Oh my God.
Do you know how many good people have come over here undocumented? One of my pet peeves is calling people illegal immigrants. They're undocumented immigrants. They didn't have the money or the means or the special privileged circumstances that Mayra Flores' parents had to be able to have their daughter run for a seat whenever she's this age, to be able to say, my parents came over here the legal way. Not everybody is that privileged. And that matters. The thing I like about Vicente is that he's honest about his past. I don't like the whole gosh, jolly geez kind of thing. I don't like it when he does.
If I fall asleep, I'll wake myself up when I snore.
You didn't talk like that in 2017, but you talk like that now.
My eyes are heavy. They are. This is not
he
very.
He admits that he was a high school dropout. And his story is a story of adversity. Mayra's story, Mayra wants you to believe that she is a first-generation Hispanic whose parents came over for a better life. Good night, Rita. Whose parents came over for a better life, right?
Yes, Lavina, this is live right now. Right now.
But yet, she's married to somebody whose parents are, who arrests or detains families that are coming over here for a better life, but are not as privileged as his in-laws were privileged to have the proper documentation. Mm-hmm. It's not the same thing.
Privilege. They did it the right way.
It's not the same
What's this
thing.
privilege?
For my voters in Willacy County, I want you to know this. Believe it or not, the very same team that was pushing for Andres Maldonado to become sheriff in Willacy County are the exact 100% people, exactly the same people that want you to vote for Mayra Flores. I need you to know that right now. I'm going to repeat it one more time.
Yeah.
The same people in Willacy County that were running against Joe Salazar, Willacy County Sheriff, and wanted you instead to vote for Andres Maldonado, which is the brother of the first DPS trooper to be fired for his inactions on May 27th at Robb Elementary of this year that failed 19 lives of 19 students and 2 educators.
So the Powerball is still pending. They have not drawn the numbers yet, just so you know.
The same people, the same politiqueros and politiqueras that are trying to get you to vote for Mayra Flores in Willacy County are the same ones that wanted you to vote for Andres Maldonado, who was just arrested at the beginning of this year as well for abusing his power and official oppression. I'm not even going to talk about the Cameron County judge's election.
Right back.
I'm going to go straight to the governor's election. And I'm going to turn this off already. I admire Beto and I admire Abbott. Both men are not perfect. I admire Beto because he takes stances that most people wouldn't take. And at least he's trying. He's trying to make good change. He's trying to make the change that should have been made a long time ago. Had Hispanics and Blacks been able to rise in the 1960s as they were trying to rise, the legislation would have been a lot different. Their values, it would have been a lot different. It would have been very much the way that Beto wants it, right? But they weren't allowed to rise. Too many were incarcerated. Too many brown and Black people and poor whites, which allowed the rich white elites to thrive, causing generational trauma amongst brown, Black, and poor white people. I admire Beto for taking stances that most politicians wouldn't take. I admire Abbott because he didn't allow his disability and having to be in a wheelchair.
I heard her say generational trauma. Oh my God. Please.
From reaching successes in his life that most men that are able to walk on 2 legs could never even dream of achieving.
Robert O'Rourke.
I admire him for that.
The fake Mexican.
I don't agree 100% with their platforms and what they stand for. I don't. And to be quite honest with you, as a woman who has been through a lot of things, both candidates are pretty much the same to me, and this is why. They're both white privileged men.
Very white.
It's true. Yeah. I don't think Beto has ever contributed 1 hour towards the workforce, towards Social Security. I don't believe he ever has, which matters to a lot of Texans, especially if you are talking about how to improve the lives of the majority of Texans, which are either at the poverty level or middle class.
Yep, Robert Francis.
When you have never worked basically a day in your life. And organizing is not the same thing as working. Not the same thing. Not the same thing as having a job. Not the same thing as having, hours. Not the same thing as having a boss. Not the same thing as clocking in. Not the same thing. It's not the same thing. What I don't like that Abbott has done, I don't like that when Abbott went through his accident that caused him not to be able to walk again.
Paralyzed him.
He was able to sue the property owners to regain compensation. However, he went on later on to promote legislation to prevent others from doing the same thing. What I don't like about both men, which is equal in both of them, and this goes for Michelle Vallejo, it goes for Monica de la Cruz, it goes for Vicente Gonzalez, especially Vicente Gonzalez, especially Mayra Flores. None of those 6 people wanting to represent South Texas in the Capitol or in Washington, D.C. said the name Melissa Lucio. The first Hispanic female ever to be put on death row.
Yeah.
Which a documentary outed as one of the biggest injustices ever. Her life was barely saved in April of this year. And not Michelle Vallejo, who's supposed to be progressive. Not Monica de la Cruz, who is a woman that's supposed to be supporting women. Not Beto, who's supposed to be all about equality and justice for all. Not Abbott. Abbott helped a little bit, but because he was in the seat already. And not Vicente Gonzalez, who was literally running to represent the very home county of Melissa Lucio. He hasn't bothered to say her name. Mayra Flores, a woman, also running to represent Cameron County, has never once bothered to say the name Melissa Lucio. Never once.
Hey, Yellowstone. My eyes are getting heavier by the minute.
I want to remind you, too,
that
before Vicente Gonzalez decided to run back in 2017 for the first time.
Very slow and somewhat also uninteresting.
Never cared about.
If you're totally into politics and you really care about.
Never cared about the federal issues.
If you care about politics and politics interests you, but this is more her little fantasy stories, how everyone was against her. And she was a candidate so many times, and how everybody else sucks except her.
And you find out that before they put their hat in the ring, they never cared about the issues. They never fought for the issues. They never spoke about the issues. Nothing. Mayra Flores, same thing. She never talked about Medicare, Medicaid, border security, nothing. And she rides the coattails of her Border Patrol husband. She doesn't work for the Border Patrol. Her husband does. Now, I want you to consider all 6 candidates when I end it talking about this issue that I'm going to talk about.
Let's see. See if I can make it.
In 2016, the Houston Chronicle broke a news article that exposed Texas denying special education to 2.5 million of the most vulnerable of Texans. 10 years, which was an average of 250,000 of the most vulnerable of Texans every year for 10 years, from 2004 to 2014. Huge denial of special education. A whole generation of Texans. Not only did they hurt those students, they forced who should have never been taking that test because they were special ed.
She's got a bunch still. She's got
So
87.
nobody cared about the most vulnerable of those students. And nobody cared about the educators, the faculty, the school districts, the superintendents. They didn't care about how their rating was going to be. They didn't care about anything.
Exactly, Margie.
You know who was in a position to help?
Who?
Beto. He was a United States representative. That's your sweetheart. It's sad.
She claims to care so much about kids and special needs and kids and what she did for them or whatever, but why didn't you do that for your own kids? That's what I want to know. Why are you so quick to just give up and let them go and you don't need custody?
And the denial of special education is a violation of several
Why?
not states, but federal laws, which do not fall in the lap of the state, but are the responsibility of federal level legislators.
Nancy
Abbott
Chow, how are you?
Was our governor. He did nothing. How do you know all this, Vanessa? Because when I started out this video, I let you know.
Yep, Julio. Yep.
That everything that led to who I've become. I see what you're saying, Joy Roy. And like a woman that will never have anything to do with you, I'm ignoring it. I'm going to go on with my story. Because at the beginning of this video, I mentioned to you that I had a young boy. And everything started because they wanted to terrorize my son. And no one wanted to do anything about it. And I mentioned to you briefly that at the same time, I had been trying for 1.5 years to get him special education. And then I come to find out that he was one of those 2.5 million of the most vulnerable of Texans that was denied special education, systemically denied special education. I wasn't in an unelected seat. And between arrests, between targeting, between postpartum depression, during pregnancies, all of that, I never gave up.
Which does happen, right?
I petitioned the Texas State Board of Education, and I did the job that state leaders were supposed to be doing. Eddie Lucio Jr. was the head of the special education. He didn't do a damn thing. I went before the State Board of Education, which is also on YouTube, and I gave my speech, and they ignored me. Remember, during this time, Bethel was in Washington, D.C. Abbott was in power.
Okay.
You can't love me too, Mr. Amin Khan, because that would mean that I was telling you I love you. And I'm not telling you I love you.
Hey, Cherie.
I'm going to go on with my story.
I didn't say Siri. I said Cherie.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with this request at the
So
moment.
when
Goodbye,
the
Siri.
Texas Board of Education ignored me for 3 months, from September of 2017 all the way to December of 2017, and between another arrest that was created by the district attorney that told me for 2 years I would never get him voted out, I got him voted out. He indicted me right in the middle of my U.S. district election.
Yeah.
The same one
Mm-hmm.
that Michelle Vallejo
Right.
and Monica de la Cruz is running for. None of that stopped me. It never deviated me from my assignment.
Your assignment?
So, for 3 months, I didn't give up petitioning the U.S. Department of Education. And remember, during this time, Bethel didn't do anything. Abbott didn't do anything. Michelle Vallejo didn't care about this special education issue at all. But she wants to represent you in Washington, D.C. Monica de la Cruz, and that's because she was in children's programming.
I don't think she's listened to any other platforms.
She didn't care about this issue. Mayra Flores, even less. Vicente Gonzalez, he saw me fighting for the issue, and he still didn't follow suit. And he won a seat in Washington, D.C., and he still didn't fight. And at that point, both him and Bethel were both in Washington, D.C., in a position to do the right thing, and they didn't. So after 3 months, Star Luna, you got in the middle of a live video. Common courtesy is that you're probably not going to understand what we're talking about. And to expect somebody or anybody watching to take their attention away from the message, or to expect the speaker to do that and to explain it to you from the very beginning is really unkind.
Calm down.
And unreasonable to expect.
Frick, do you think you are
but
the
if
Messiah?
you really want to know,
Can't be disturbed.
then you can kindly wait for it to be posted, and you won't be lost. I'm going to go on with my story.
That it is a story.
So even though all these people didn't care about the issue, our governor was in a position to do something. And we now had two people, Vicente Gonzalez and Beto, both representing us. And this was their baby. This was not Abbott's baby. This was a federal issue. So why does it matter that this was happening to 2.5 million Texans? Well, if you're a politician in Texas and you're not going to go to bat for 2.5 million of the most vulnerable of Texans, what makes anybody believe that you're going to do anything for their parents, their general ed friends and family, their teachers, their uncles, their fathers in the military, veterans? In other words, if you're going to let down children, and of those children, the ones that need help the most, then you have the potential of letting any demographic down. So under fire, and with a lot of hate against me, I kept fighting, and I finally heard from the U.S. Department of Education. And they said,
let's pay attention to the comments on her page, y'all.
Out of all of the thousands of letters we received, we would like to make 5 meetings in North Texas, East Texas, West Texas, Central Texas, and the last one in South Texas. And the reason that we're going to make the last one in South Texas, and it's going to be in Edinburgh, in Hidalgo County, is because it's the closest to you. And we want you to give the same word-for-word speech that you gave to the Texas Department of Education, to the U.S. Department of Education. And I asked them, I said, of course, but why? I'm wondering. And they said, because of, even though we got thousands of letters, yours, that speech you gave, not only included every single thing that everybody had ever complained about in those thousands of letters, but you included things that no one would ever think would matter, that matter probably even more than the most common complaints they made. So I went. After I lost my election, remember, Ruben Ramirez ran against me too. He came down to a runoff, asked for a count. He would have been he would have been there instead of Michelle Vallejo. But he lost his election, and he was an educator, and he didn't fight for special education like me either. He dropped off the face of the earth. As soon as he didn't have a chance to win his elected seat, he didn't care about the issues that mattered anymore. Not me. I cared. So I went and I gave that same speech.
Maybe.
There at Region 1. In front of all the members of the U.S. Department of Education. And 1 month later, they cracked down on Abbott and forced our governor to implement a corrective action plan. And to this day, Texas is being sued for hundreds of millions of dollars regarding special education funds.
Yeah, don't know if that's true.
Not Beto, not Abbott, not Michelle Vallejo, not Monica de la Cruz, not Henry Cuellar, not the one running against him, not Vicente Gonzalez, and certainly not Mayra Flores. Cared at all about the most important issue that any politician should care about. Because if you can't care about that one, what makes any of us think that you're going to do the right thing for all the rest of us? That's all I have to say. Thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all go out to vote. Okay? If you didn't think of going out to vote, please think about it.
That's it?
All right? No matter who you go and vote for, just please go vote. All right? I thank y'all so much. Be well. Be safe. Okay? Take care. And, yeah, good luck to everybody. Bye.
That was brutal. I think she cut it off because people lost interest. The viewership was dropping. Obviously, my eyes were heavy. And we even lost a few people that said, I can't do this tonight. Yeah, I know. So I've been watching the Powerball. They've got some major issues going on. Still have not drawn the numbers yet. Now it's, Tuesday morning. What's up with that? And I'm on the screen here. And this is the message that we're still getting. No change. It's been like that. You see, the drawing was supposed to happen they've changed it to 10:59 Eastern. I mean, which is a normal time. But then they said it was delayed by an hour, and then, now we're a couple hours later. And that's all we know. All that we know is that it was some kind of a security threat. So, interesting. So I'll watch this overnight. Gonna go watch me some more Yellowstone. Yes, I'm still watching Yellowstone. I think Vanessa was a little upset. I got the feeling she was a little upset. Interest wasn't there. Viewership wasn't there. Politics is not the most exciting topic, even though she was trying to make it, very, what is that word? You're trying to make it sensational, pointing out a few people, calling out a few people, but just wasn't working. So tomorrow morning, I will be scanning all these tickets, assuming that they draw sometime overnight. And I gotta read that. If they scan overnight, if they do draw overnight, I will be using the app. It's got a scanner, and I'm going to go ahead and scan all these barcodes and to see what's up. Hopefully they figure this crap out. Obviously, some kind of security protocol. Something is going on. Something. I guess we'll find out overnight. Check one more time. Refresh. Nope, nothing yet. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys know. If they do draw sometime overnight, when I get up in the morning, I will go ahead and start scanning all these cards. And we'll see what happens. So we'll leave it at that for now. All right, everyone have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Some more VT Chronicles. I know it was brutal. Glad you hung in there. She says some pretty wild stuff. Never fails. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll see how the Powerball drawing goes. See if they figure out their issue. Are we on Tuesday already? Yeah, gotta throw out the trash. Okay, have a good night, everyone.